Hey, if you're in here, you're probably a Jet fan. And if you're a Jet fan, I like you. Jets fans, we're really underrated. We have a great fan base. However, there's been two narratives being pushed by my fellow beloved Jets fans over the past 48 hours or so that I've found really frustrating. Number one, anytime anyone disagrees or has a critique about what the Jets are doing, it's the classic, in JD we trust, or, oh, you think you know ball more than JD or Saleh. And that's BS. Okay, we're allowed to disagree with the team. That's half of being a sports fan. Half of talking about sports is debating, analyzing whether or not your team will, won't, didn't make the right decision. Okay? I was checking out a Ravens channel because a Ravens YouTuber reached out to me and said, hey, I want to do a collab before week 1. Watched a little bit of his live stream, and they were killing their coach and staff. And they were picking apart Lamar. That coach has won a Super Bowl, and Lamar has won an MVP. Okay, so as much as I like JD and Saleh, until they can muster up something more than 4 wins together, they're not beyond reproach and criticism. That's number one. But number two, there's the other end of the spectrum where we're weighting the moves on the bottom of our roster so much. And like same old Jets because we cut a third string quarterback. Real quick, without Googling it, the Super Bowl last year, the Rams and the Bengals. Someone tell me real quick, who is their third string quarterback on either team? Exactly. It doesn't matter. And I like Chris Streveler. It's a great story. But I have people seriously telling me same old Jets were a losing organization because we cut Chris Streveler, who, if you told me he never starts a regular season game in the NFL, I'm not shocked. That's crazy. And it extends throughout the whole roster bubble. There's some moves I disagree with. We'll get into in a second. But we can't let that overshadow the fact that Joe Douglas went and got maybe the best wide receiver in the country. Maybe the best corner in the country. Definitely the best running back in the country. One of the top 4 tight ends in the draft. One of the top 4 edge rushers in the draft. And then, Michael Clemens. Yeah, don't forget about him. And Max Mitchell, a developmental tackle. 3 of the top 8 players on their board. Arguably 5 first-round talents. Daniel Jeremiah is saying Jeremy Ruckert was the second best tight end in the class. In every free agent signing, a guy who brings value, durability, upgrades a position of need, loves ball, and has playoff experience. We can't let us cutting, Will Parks and Jason Pinnock, which I disagree with, overshadow that. Okay, now with that little bit of a rant out of the way, let's start to get into this a little bit because there are some things I disagree with. There are some things I'm concerned about. So, safety room. I think there are 2 groups on this team, safety and offensive line, whereas the roster sits right now, our depth is actually worse than it was when we were entering last season. Now, at offensive line, we're going to add somebody. You're not going to go into a season with 3 tackles, and JD must have a plan because just to cut Chuma Edoga, he's got to have a plan to bring somebody in. I mean, none of us like Chuma Edoga, but Chuma Edoga, I would actually trust more than Max Mitchell if there's an injury week 1. And tackle depth is scarce around the league. I don't know who he's going to bring in. The Jets are actually over the cap. Maybe a CJ Mosley structure gets in here, but they're going to have to bring somebody in. And there's no way that Joe Douglas changed his mindset from, less than a month ago, visiting with Dwayne Brown to sign the former Pro Bowler significant money to be a backup. Okay? There's no way he went from that to saying, you know what, our backup tackle can just be a 4th-round rookie from the Sun Belt Conference. No chance. There's no chance that happened. So I'm very confident they add a significant upgrade at tackle somehow, some way. They have to. Safety, I don't know what's going on. Part of me thinks that maybe Joe Douglas and Saleh, maybe they don't value the safety position a ton. And Ashton Davis, can somebody explain to me what Ashton Davis has shown that he can be a contributor on this football team? Part of me feels like some guys that just had inked in and it almost didn't really matter. Like Nathan Shepard was going to make it. Ashton Davis was going to make it. And I don't think I agree with that. I would have kept Jason Pinnock. If you're not going to keep Will Parks because he's older, whatever. But Jason Pinnock was a draft pick 2, second year. And Jason Pinnock in a limited sample size last year played better safety than Ashton Davis ever has. And he was durable the whole year. And he's changing positions, so maybe there's still like a higher ceiling with Pinnock. I don't get that move. And then Tony Adams, great athlete, we'll see. But I don't get the math of thinking that you have a better chance of bringing Jason Pinnock back on the practice squad, a 5th round pick who people have tape on last year, than Tony Adams, undrafted free agent, who barely played with the 3rd team in preseason. That doesn't make sense to me. Ty Johnson over Tevin Coleman, that doesn't make sense either. So, and you don't have either Jonathan Marshall or Tanzel Smart in there over Nathan Shepard. Man, there's a few rooms where I felt like a lot of our depth got gutted. We guys like Vinny Curry, who hasn't played in 18 months, Nathan Shepard. I mean, the leadership. Can they play and can they be available? So I disagree with a lot of these moves, but that cannot move the needle into same old Jets or JD or Salah don't know what they're talking about. Okay, it was an A off season. And if my disagreements here, barring any future signings, if that moves it to an A- at the most, we're in good hands. Let's wait and see what JD has up his sleeve. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll talk ball soon.